Party. Congressman Nehls is with us tonight. And Congressman, it is great to see you. Thanks for being with us. Let's go immediately to the headlines. And the headlines are, because of you, the headlines are Congressman Nehls calls Paul Ryan a piece of garbage. And I have to say, I thought that was very able, faithful reporting on your part.
Well, listen, when I saw the interview he did with Brett Baer and Fox, and then listen, Brett's a little soft, he is. But when I look at that interview and he said that he's concerned about Trump and whether Trump abides or respects the Constitution, some of these other things, unfit for office, shame on him. Shame on him for doing it. And I think still today, I'd probably want to say a few more choice words for him, but you probably couldn't air them. But he is a piece of garbage. You know, he's from the state of Wisconsin. It's a 50-50 battle up there. It's a swing state, and we would really, really like to win that state. He's from that state. He was the Speaker of the House, and he's going to get out there and say to Brett, I'm not going to vote for Donald Trump. I mean, I don't know what the hell he thinks he's accomplishing by saying such. I mean, is he lacking attention? Does he need a little bit of somebody to pat him on the back or somebody to give him another hit on television? It was the most irresponsible thing to do with 140-something days away from a general election.
Yeah, I don't think anybody has ever accused him of not being ignorant when it comes to supporting the party and President Trump. He is a load. And what's really remarkable, you're talking about another hit on television. He, of course, is a board member of Fox. He's on the board of directors. And there he is on Neil Cavuto's show, bad-mouthing the presumptive nominee of the Republican Party. I mean, how ignorant does it get, and how conflicted can he be? I mean, I don't know what the specific rules are on the FCC and the SEC, but to have him out there as a loose cannon wailing away on afternoon television on Fox is just, it's just despicable, in my opinion.
Yeah, I just don't know how he feels this will benefit our party. He claims he's a Republican, whether he's now an anti-establishment, whatever it may be. He's been a rhino. I thought he was a horrible speaker. He didn't do too much when Donald Trump was president. So I just don't feel, I don't understand his position here and why he feels this is going to benefit the Republican Party. If he really felt he wasn't going to vote for Donald Trump, he should have told his dog. Maybe go tell your dog. But you don't get on Fox News, and we do know that, you know, Donald Trump and others, many people do watch that station, but I don't know what it made no sense to me, very concerning, and I'm thinking to myself, he's not all in. He obviously does not feel the same way I do and many people in our party as the destruction that we've seen over the last 3 years, 3.5 years with Joe Biden. If he wants to continue down this path with Joe Biden, you would say you won't support Donald Trump. But Democrats would say that, not a Republican and a former speaker.
You would think, to follow your line of reasoning here, you would think that a man who's had his experience in politics would understand that those comments are strictly beneficial to Joe Biden. Joe Biden, who is a cognitively impaired, morally corrupt, also politically corrupt president, who serves as a puppet to his masters, the Marxist Dems who are leading the Democrat Party, in my opinion, straight to hell. But they're taking the country with them. And this, if he doesn't understand, it's imperative that Donald Trump take the Oval Office back on November 5th and move in on January 20th. He's not nearly, I don't think he's bright, but I do think he's smarter than that.
I think it's personal. Lou, I think this is something personal. Maybe Donald Trump said something about him over the past several years, and I think Paul Ryan took this personal. He's saying this. Well, Paul, if you say you're not going to vote for Donald Trump, what you're saying is you're going to vote for the dork. Well, he's not really saying he's going to vote for the dork, but he'd rather not say that we should be supporting Donald Trump with what we've seen the dork do in the past 3.5 years with this entire administration. Our country's burning. The world is burning. We didn't experience any of it. We didn't experience any of this chaos under the 4 years of Donald Trump. We didn't have to give Ukraine hundreds of billions of dollars. We didn't have to go in there now and try to help our ally Israel because Hamas went in. There are so many things that never happened under Donald Trump. Our inflation, our strong border policy under Donald Trump, crime was under control. He was creating opportunity zones for everybody in this country, right? He was holding Russia, China, Little Rocket Man in North Korea accountable. And he has the audacity, Paul Wright has the audacity to say, I'm not going to vote for Donald Trump. He's a piece of garbage to the core. He is scum, quite honestly.
Well, you're not going to get an argument from me on that issue, I guarantee you. And to think that the old guard of the Republican Party, they're about as weak-kneed and yellow-livered as Ryan. He is a coward. He doesn't have the strength or the support to actually be doing something to support the party. What does he gain? Well, I'll tell you what he gains. He gains another 5 minutes of fame on Fox News in the afternoon, talking about the President of the United States, who is going to go down in history, I am quite sure, as one of the greatest presidents of all time. And to think that he has a number of ways to go. He's now a lobbyist. He is an influence peddler, working in Washington, D.C. He's everything that any congressman should aspire not to be, in my opinion, to bring integrity and some real decency to D.C. It's hard to do in the swamp, I know, but he could be doing that, and instead, he's a mouthpiece for whom? For Joe Biden and the Marxist Dems. Let me ask you, who runs that wing of the party now? The GOP, the old GOP, the rhinos. They want to be Democrats, but no, they don't have the guts. Who's running that faction?
Well, you have those up here. Obviously, people talk to me all the time and say, you can't work with Democrats. You can't work with Democrats. And I said, well, because Democrats do not want to work with Republicans. We always want to bend and try to find a way to get some bipartisan legislation across the aisle. But when we want the Democrats to work with us, they're not willing to do it. So I'm really stiffening my spine. But it's even more concerning is the internal struggles we have within our own conference. Obviously, I'm a Freedom Caucus guy. I've never given Ukraine a nickel. I even voted against the funding, the supplemental aid to Israel, because there was money in there, believe it or not, written in there to pretty much give it to Hamas in Gaza. So I vote no a lot. I do what I can and put the American people first. I'm that America First patriot. But I tell you, the establishment swamp up here is they're alive and well, quite honestly. When the swamp wants something, and there are those of us that will not support that legislation because it's too much, it's too costly, it's not good for America, we will reach out. Our establishment will reach out to the Democrats to get it across the aisle. And we've done so for the past several months through suspension bills, which require 2/3 of the House to pass them. And it's done with Democrats. So everything is watered down. The only thing, the only person and solution to our country's ills and the ills across the world is Donald Trump. He was here this morning, Lou. I'm telling you, I left the Capitol Hill Club after listening to Donald Trump for an hour and a half. He just inspired me. Everybody was paying attention to him. It was a fantastic meeting with the greatest leader in my lifetime.
Good. It's great to hear that. It's great to have him back on Capitol Hill. And I have the feeling that the party is beginning to understand, even those recalcitrant rhinos are beginning to understand that the way forward is through the Trump agenda. America first, making America great again. A modest foreign policy, bringing our troops home, not sending them off to wars in countries no one could find on a map. It's just past time. And the man is still coming up with ideas, brilliant ideas about the economy, about how to constrain government spending while at the same time taking care of business. The government has great responsibilities. There's no question about that. But they can be managed intelligently and with great support from the private sector. And that's what he's all about, or has been at least.
Yes, I tell you, Donald Trump's gonna get elected as the 47th president, and he's gonna have to work really, really hard. He, his entire cabinet, they're gonna have to work hard because this bozo has destroyed our country in 3.5 years. Joe Biden, the entire administration, with the weaponization of these agencies to go after their the people that don't agree with them politically. It's shameful the direction our country has taken over the past 3.5 years with all of this. So he's going to have to work really, really hard. But what you do know about Donald J. Trump, the man runs on motor oil. Lou, he does. He's a machine. He sleeps 3-4 hours a night. He loves this country. He loves America. And this morning he even said, I'm running for president, but I want to help every member in the Republican conference that are in those tough districts where they may have a 2-3 seat, a 3-point lead or a 3-point, they're behind a little bit. He wants to work hard for each and every one of them. So he even puts other members before his own needs. He is one genuine, strong, effective leader, and we need him today. America needs him more than ever.
Absolutely. And with that, Congressman, I'm going to just say thank you. And again, I think, I'm proud of you for calling Paul Ryan out for what he is, and unfortunately, for what he's been throughout his entire career. And we appreciate your honesty and your courage and your straightforward, plain talk and your service to the nation. Thanks so much. Congressman Troy Nehls.
God bless you.
God bless you. More